And people who get stuff done are far more successful than people that don't.
Since mindset is such a critical component in your life and in my life and other top performers, what does that look like to you? And what do you do to influence your mindset? What are you reading? What are you surrounding yourself with? Those sorts of things. If you could get a little tactical on that for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a 5-step process every day to control my mindset. Number one, reminding myself what mindset is, which is I give meaning to everything I see. So we can't tell someone that's depressed and suicidal, hey, just look at the glass half full. You can't tell someone that until you teach them you are giving meaning to everything you see. And so that truly is the first idea. And so since then, what I do is a 5-step process. Number one, I take inventory of my values every day, and I'm not afraid of being a hypocrite. One of the most frustrating things is, people, especially with social media, right? You could pull up, tags from last year on me, videos of last year, and be like, dude, you're saying something completely different today. And I would say, thank you. And they're like, what do you mean, thank you? I said, well, because that means I'm growing and accelerating. Don't judge me for when I was 22 because I had not learned the lessons and lived the life and found the light that I have today, 30 years later when I was 22. And yet people, they're so they attack you because you grew and learned. I'm so divergent. So for me, I take inventory of my personal values and allow them to change. I take inventory of my experiential values. What do I want today? Like people that try to hold stead on their experiential values, how are you doing that today? No wonder you're anxious. There's no way you can experience the same things you thought you're going to experience 2 months ago. Giving values, same thing. Receiving values, understanding they're both one, but I have separated those and I take inventory every day. The second thing, asking for help. Radical humility is my second step. Radically humble says, I'm going to ask a series of questions of everyone that I meet in person, on the phone, via email and media. How can I be of value, of service? But also show true humility by asking sponsors and power sponsors in my life for help. How do you know anyone that can help me? Or can you help me? And do you know someone that can help me? The third one's very pragmatic. It's changed my life, and a lot of people don't get it the first time I say it. I study my calendar. Studying means to me paying attention to something, giving it intention, and creating the coincidences that you want. 3 things I study: what I have planned during the day, what I don't have planned during the day, the white space or blank space, and my sleep. And I do that with the lens of productivity. How much value can I provide or service? 2, accessibility. How accessible am I to others and how am I accessing what I want? And gratitude, which always makes everything better. I'm my own chief betterment officer through the gratitude lens. The 4th thing is do it now. Doing it now keeps me present. It also sets me apart from 99% of the 99%, literally the 1% of the 1%. What is do it now? Every day when someone says, hey, can you do this? Or something presents itself, I immediately say, can I do it now? Because if I can do it now, I save at least twice as much time and I'm exponentially more successful. If I just, and 100% of things I do now get done, and people who get stuff done are far more successful than people that don't. So I have a whole functionality of getting stuff done. Then finally, and most importantly, practicing ending fear. I started at a young age because when you make a lot of money at a very young age, your biggest enemy is your ego. It edges goodness out of your life. It will edge the gold right out of your life. It will edge the happiness right out of your life. So I started a practice of ending fear. Number 1, identify what I'm afraid of. 2, go back to center. I always say, when you're afraid or an ego, your mind, body, and soul's on fire. So I knew when you're on fire, stop, drop, and roll. So I created a stop, drop, and roll process. It's cancel, clear, connect in the book, Connected to Goodness, my first book. But those 5 things will give you the mindset and the practice of the mindset that you need in order to create acceleration and growth, be able to manifest the coincidences you want in your life.